Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is your host Majestic speaking with another episode of MechWarrior Online here for you guys. And today we're going to be doing a couple rounds of epic gameplay with the Warhammer 7S. And yes, I'm going to tell you guys up front, we are going to be doing more than one round. And the reason being is because as soon as I built this mech out, I just knew I was going to have an absolute blast with it, and I did. So we're going to go through a couple rounds of epic gameplay with this guy, the Warhammer 7S. Now, I do like to consider this particular variant of the Warhammer to be a little bit of an unsung hero of the Warhammers. It usually is overshadowed by the 6D, which is the laser boat variant, and the Black Widow, which is the hero variant. Now, this particular variant is the only one out of all of the variants for the Warhammer that has more than one missile hardpoint. It has 3 missile hardpoints. And we're going to dive into the nitty-gritty here for just a second so you guys can take a look at how this mech, this variant, is just as good, if not better in some capacities, than the more prominent, more prolific type of variants of the Warhammer you tend to see out there on the battlefield. So let's dive into, first off, the hard points. 0 ballistic, 6 energy, 3 missile, 1 AMS, and 0 ECM. Now, I took into consideration not only the hard points, but then the quirks that went along with it. PPC velocity 30%, missile cooldown 10%, and laser duration 15%. Now, the laser duration and energy heat generation bonus of 5% coupled together. So I'm not going to be using PPCs, even though the PPC velocity quirk is there. It gives you a bonus of 30%. And the reason being is because I wanted to cater to the fact that this variant, having been the only variant with more than one missile hardpoint, I really wanted to emphasize those particular hardpoints and then build around that. So what I did was, because I have that missile cooldown bonus of 10%, I did want to cater specifically to those 3 hardpoints. And if I wanted to turn it into a brawler, I knew that I would be going short range with the missiles, and then obviously between small and medium lasers to keep that range, consistent across multiple types of weapons. So in my loadout here, I utilized all 3 missile hardpoints by putting on SRM-6s with Artemis. Now, coupling with that, I really like to emphasize that punch when you're doing any kind of brawl in any kind of situation with medium pulse lasers. So I wanted to see, first of all, okay, if I put these missiles on there and I put medium pulses on there, how many could I fit? Could I still fit a big engine and keep decent heat management? And yes, with this variant, it is absolutely possible. 70 out of 70 tons used, 77 out of 78 slots used, 432 out of 434 armor used. I only took 2 armor hardpoints out of the head so that I could fit an extra double heatsink, believe it or not. And I placed the biggest engine you could possibly fit in the Warhammer. The XL340 allows me to go 84.5 kph. Now, this is a completely mastered mech. I was able to fit 16 double heat sinks, 10 in the engine, and then 6 external, on the 3 on top of the engine, 2 in the left arm, 1 in the right arm. So this thing is very heat efficient. It does meet my minimum threshold requirement of 1.2, and it packs a 68.7 alpha. So this thing at close range can really deal some devastating damage. And I mean, it does run a little hot if you constantly use your alpha over and over, but even when you chain fire, 5 medium pulses coupled with 3 SRM-6s to constantly even chain fire, you can build up the heat. And I'm sure, you'll see in the rounds that I'm about to show you guys, the situations that you get into with this mech, you kind of just have to stay aggressive. And the more fire you put down for the rest of your team, the more splat, the more pulse, the more wub-wub that you're giving to that enemy, the better chance it is that they're going to back up, because they realize, okay, this is a Warhammer. He's a little more tanky, he's got the structure, and he's pounding me in the face with missiles and lasers. I'm probably going to wind up backing up if that's, what I would recommend if you're on the other side. So again, this is just a very, very unique variant of the Warhammer because of the fact that you're utilizing these 3 missile hardpoints as opposed to the other variants, which only have a maximum of 1. So I wanted to stick to my guns here and just see how this thing competed from a short range approach now that I've actually built it out in comparison to the 6D and the Black Widow, which I have built out as brawlers. So again, with this thing having almost a 69-point alpha, maximum speed of 85 kph, we know that we can dip in and dip out of sticky situations very quickly. So again, keeping that heat management perspective in there and maximizing everything in every capacity that we possibly could. If I took off these double heat sinks and threw on another medium pulse laser, this thing would run extremely hot. So I decided to go against that and just stick with more of the center and right side of the mech in focusing my fire. So that's the approach that I want to take, because if I am a right side peeker, I want to make sure that the right side of my mech is the one that's poking out, doing the damage, still laying down some fire, and putting more of the double heat sinks in my left arm, because obviously I could use those to cool and they won't be getting hit by anything. So that's the perspective that I hope that you guys gain from this, and I hope that you understand, exactly how I built this mech, why I built it the way I did, and how unique it is in comparison to some of the other Warhammer variants you'll see out there on the battlefield. Now, it is, like I said, completely covered in armor. I did not place any modules on this other than the Coolshot 9x9 and a Coolshot 6. So, again, I really wanted to make sure that this thing was heat efficient. I wasn't going to focus on, UAVs or artillery strikes or anything like that. And I didn't want to put any mech modules on it because I just might be doing a Majestic Series build on it with all of the modules on there, so you guys can get an even more full encompassing perspective of what this mech has to offer with all the bells and whistles and now extra modifications to it to help make it even better. So that's the only reason why I don't have them on for this video, but I did want to at least show what the potential is out there on the battlefield, even from just a raw form of not having these extra modules, not actually going out and spending tens of millions of C-bills to load this thing up to the T. So hopefully you guys appreciate it from that perspective, but we're going to hop out onto the battlefield now so we can get in a couple rounds of epic gameplay with this unique variant of the Warhammer, the 7S. Here we go. Alrighty guys, so our first round is going to take place on the Mining Collective, a perfect map for this type of variant and this build in particular, because of the fact that in the Mining Collective, it's very, very short range. It's very brawly, skirmishy, so it really caters to this build and this type of play style. And we're going to try and take a little bit of an aggressive approach here in the beginning, because a lot of the focus in the beginning of the matches on this map tend to focus towards that center point, that middle ground. Everyone's trying to get there as fast as they can, so maybe we could catch someone off guard and see exactly, where they tend to set up. They might be going down either the Echo line or the Charlie line. That tends to be how usually these matches work out. So we're going to peer over a little bit here, see if we can see anything. And it doesn't look like they were down this line, so that means they're probably along the Charlie line, if I had to guess. Yeah, there he is. Charlie 5 is what he was saying. So we're going to keep our position right here. Ask everyone to wait up a little bit for the assaults, especially as they make their way towards this side of the map. Now, we do have a target over here. There's an adder over here. It looks like he's by himself, and he's getting chewed alive. We're probably not going to get any hits on it. Yeah, he's already down to 30%. And, nope, just got him down before I was able to even put some fire down on him. But that's great. First kill came under a minute and a half in the match. So that's definitely beneficial for us. Going to peer around on this side because now we know that we have a little bit of a flank on them if we really want. And that Shadow Cat, he's peering up there, but he's going to be greeted by a couple of my friends down here, especially anyone who has jump jets. They'll be able to point him out pretty quickly. We're going to swing around here. I'm keeping an eye on the mini-map just to make sure that I am relative, that I can stick with a group, but also be close to any of our mechs that might need some assistance, so I could get there quickly. Gonna hide amongst these little generators here for a second, but then swing around. Looking a little bit at the middle just to make sure, just to see what's up there.
I'm coming to help you.
See if we have... Oh, we do have a taker here. We have... It looks like... Was that a... I think it was a direwolf, and he's kind of just chilling there. If we can get some support on him, we will definitely move in. Okay, we have a light that's going out for him. An Arctic cheetah, and he's going to be running circles around him, so we're just going to put some fire down on him. Constantly berate him with... we overheated with the medium pulses and the SRM-6s going together. Use that cool shot, and there we go. Now we're getting the hang of it. Took out half of his weapons. He's cored up, and there he goes. Excellent, excellent focused fire. Exactly what we were looking for. This early in the match, we have a couple of them down. 3 in total at this point. So that gives us a very, very good advantage going into, you know, the only reaching up to in the 4th minute at this point. And that King Crab, he is not going to be happy with me constantly peering over. He's probably going to get a couple shots in, but we're going to get another barrage in on him. Yeah, there we go. Get some missiles on. Yeah, he sees me. He's going to ping me up a little bit. It's okay. We have some support from the rest of the team. And again, the Warhammer is very structurally tanky. So we can take some hits. We can't stay there, but we can at least take some hits. Looks like that, is that a Firebrand? Yeah. Firebrand is probably going to try and get aggressive on some of our guys in the middle. Yep, and he's going to focus in on them, and so we're going to get some extra shots down. Heat level is reaching a little bit too high, so we're going to use that other cool shot and fire over the top. Yes, we got him.
Nice.
I knew that he was cored up, but I didn't know if we would be able to get him with a partial alpha there, so that happened to work out perfectly. Got another one of them down, a couple more of them down. It's now 6-1, and we have 7-1, and it's not even 5 minutes into the round yet. So we're consolidating and focusing our fire. They tried to get a flank on us with their light mechs, but we were able to sniff that one out. That Pirate's Bane is there. We're going to put some fire down on the Stalker so that he alleviates the pressure that's being put on the rest of my team. We're going to face tank some damage from him. At least give the rest of my team some time to recuperate and reform together. We're going to take a couple shots. He cored up my torso because I overheated. And again, we're going to try for another partial alpha. Gets just a couple missiles in there. Core him up maybe a little bit. We have the extra ammo to work with, so that's why I'm not really worried about it. Going to constantly put down some fire on this Pirate's Bane. He is just annoying the crap out of my poor team. So we're going to... Oh my gosh! What a shot from that Warhawk.
Good game, guys.
Epic, epic ending kill with that Gauss round. Wow. Kapow, buddy. You are down for the count. But that was an awesome round of gameplay. 816 damage, 2 kills, 6 assists, 3 times doing the most damage. And we're pretty much closing in on the top of that leaderboard there. Yep, we are at the top there. So excellent round of gameplay. Let's hop back into the queue, though, and hopefully we can mix it up with another type of map, maybe a little bit long range, so you can just see a difference in the perspective between the two. Alrighty guys, here we go. Second round is going to take place on Grim Plexus. Now, whereas the first round took place on Mining Collective, a very short-range, skirmish, brawly type of map, Grim Plexus presents an entirely new and different challenge. Very long range, very open type of map. Now, that doesn't mean that we can't use some of the natural environment here to hide behind as, you know, obstacles for cover. But we're just going to have to be more mindful because a majority of this map is a little bit more out in the open. So we're going to have to pick our positions pretty carefully. Now, one thing I do want to make mention of is all of the pilots in this round are competitive. So definitely in for a treat. Very, very good pilots in this round. So we're going to have to see how everything unfolds. But as for now, we're just going to stick to our guns. Try and get to a more beneficial position out there on the battlefield so that we can really kind of take a surprise kind of tactic. and hopefully get in more of a flank. If we could get towards this platform, that would really, really help us out, because although we're able to go almost 85 kph, we do need to be mindful that our assaults are lagging, so we don't want to leave them too far behind. And we also want to make sure that we're within close range combat, so we don't want to be standing out in the middle of the open. So we kind of have to mitigate between the two. We have to find, that happy medium between staying relatively close to our assaults in case they get flanked by those light to mediums, and also staying towards the, the cover and towards the front of where all the action is, so that we can get our shots off and help out the rest of the team. So here we go. Gonna head towards the platform first. I love focusing around this platform, and I know a lot of teams like to NASCAR around it, but especially for this build, it's very, very beneficial because you keep your range to a maximum of around 300 meters, and that's not really what we want to go beyond. So that's what we're trying to aim for here. Just keeping an eye on everyone in the back, getting some fire from across the map there. So like I said, very, very long range. We're going to have to be a little, mindful of where everyone's going and where the enemy is pinging us from. Still waiting for our assaults, so that gave me the opportunity to communicate back in the all chat. But now our assaults are with us, so no more chit chat. It's game time, baby. So we're gonna head over towards Foxtrot 8. It looks like we have something moving over here. Not really sure what. But an Ebonjag. It's got to be an Ebonjag. That looks like an Ebonjag if I had to guess. Yep, there he is. So we're going to peek over here. Maybe get a couple shots off if we can. Yep, we got a little bit of laser fire down on him. And we're going to peek around this obstacle here. I'm sure that they have a couple mechs lined up here in the back, if I had to guess. And there he is. There's the Ebonjag, and he's backed up by a Stalker. Now, the Stalker is getting some shots down on us. We're going to keep firing in on him, hopefully get some support from the team a little bit. There we go. Oh, and we're going to overheat a little bit. He's going to continue that fire with those large lasers, but not the end of the world there. We still managed to get out of there pretty unscathed. And let's whip around the corner, get another salvo in on him, because he is going to be targeted by the rest of my team. So we did have a core up, or at least get our torsos in the orange. And we're going to get behind him now. He's going to give our back to us. Of all things, he gives his back to us, and we just take him down immediately. Excellent work by the team. Want to stay aggressive, but also need to stay conservative. So there's a difference between the want and the need there. But if the rest of this round is going to work, we're going to have to make sure that we stick to our guns and help out the rest of our team. Do a little bit of peeking over here. Help out on that rifleman who looks like he is getting a little aggressive up there on the platform. Gonna whip around on the side just to see if there's any enemy contact. And that Mad Dog is over here completely by himself, but we need to be aware of the sniper. I believe it's a Jaeger sniper all the way on those far rocks, but we're gonna go for him. We're gonna hop in here, hopefully get the kill, and there he goes. And there, like I said, that Jaeger sniper is still up there on the hill, so we're going to have to send someone off to go take him out. Otherwise, that's going to be a constant thorn in our side if we're going to keep this push in on the enemy team. And we are playing Conquest, so whether we collect the most resources or we take all of them out and collect the most resources. And here we go. Okay, so forget the resources. It looks like a majority of their team is sticking up to their guns here on the top of the platform. Gonna have to stay aggressive. Executioner and a Rifleman are relevant. Now we have a Kodiak and a Cataphract with us, so we're gonna help support that fire. They're firing down there, and we're gonna take advantage of Foxtrot here. It looks like he's probably gonna be turned around, and yes, we got his back. Excellent shot, turned back, so we don't get too chewed up, and we did protect our torso, which is critical. And now we're gonna maybe poke around this side again. Just keep checking out to see what's available. And this Executioner, he has no idea that we're firing in on him. He's too preoccupied right now. So we're going to move in. We're going to take this opportunity to move in a little bit. Poke around this corner. See if he... Oh, and he definitely stuck his tongue out there. And there he goes, but he's going to dip back behind the wall. So we're going to back up to Hotel. is the executioner. And we have the support of a cataphract here. Gonna whip around the side of this building, get a shot in or two, and there he goes. A component is destroyed. And he's gonna face tank. Oh my gosh, and he just went for the kill there, but he is probably instantly regretting that. And we're gonna help out on this Kodiak now. This Kodiak Kappa is gonna get some shots in the back, and he goes down. Gonna continue with the aggressive position here. Now we are taking some fire. Our torso is getting a little amber orange there now. And that cataphract is gonna move in on the gargoyle, but behind him comes a quick draw, and we're gonna take advantage of the quick draw. If we can get this quick draw down, that would pretty much solidify our position here amongst the platform. Gonna continue to rain fire, and although we shut down, it's totally okay. He's going for that left torso instead of the right torso, which is critical. We're going to head back up on top of the platform, continue our fire down on this quick draw. Man, does he have a lot of armor. We're going to whip around the corner. He's trying to jump jet and get away, but we're getting some shots down on him, and that is critical. You can see his torso, his head, everything is pretty weak at this point, so we're going to keep firing in on him if we can. A lot of excellent shots being taken right now. Getting some support from the rest of the team. Now we got to whip around this corner. We got to get the kill, and oh, there he goes. Excellent shot there. We overheated, but we kind of had to take it. He was in critical kind of condition there. And this Shadow Cat seems to be plaguing our team a little bit. Fire off those SRMs and get the kill. There he goes. Oh my gosh. Back-to-back kills. But now we have this spider to worry about. He looks like he might be a little too far before the rest of our team gets him. And then we have one more guy left. I believe we killed 10 of them at this point. We're going to try and help out the rest of the team. They shouldn't need any help. It's only a spider with a medium pulse laser at this point. Or no, an ER... Is that an ER large? Yes, it is an ER large. And he gets completely cored out, and there he goes. Now we just have to find the last guy. Well, we don't really know where he is, but excellent job by the team to really stick to their guns. And that's what we were hoping for, is to stick with our team, not necessarily face tank, but still stay aggressive and get our shots in when we could. It's more of a peek, you know, deal some damage and retreat just a little bit. Now, the Warhammer does have some extra structure to deal with, so that's definitely benefiting when we were on the front lines. Definitely took advantage when we were against that Stalker and the Ebon Jag. You know, we got into the backs of a couple of them, and that really gave us the upper hand. They lost a lot of tonnage pretty early, so that's really what gave us the opportunity to get into a beneficial position and continue to fire in on some of their mechs that were still lagging behind, that were rotating. They left that Jaeger out there on the platform or the plateau, I should say, in the distance, and that gave our light and medium, I believe it was only one of them that went out there. I forget if it was a light or a medium, but that gave him the opportunity to just go in there and cut him up. He didn't really have a choice. He didn't really have anywhere to go because all he had were the dual Gauss to work with, and we got the kill. So that kind of set us up to capture the platform. Again, just taking it down mechs one by one as they continued to file in. And yeah, supporting our assaults and other heavies. That was the huge thing. And we kept all of our weaponry, which is huge. Because usually if you crit out a component or something like that, you might lose some firepower. Part of your loadout may get destroyed, but we managed to keep everything intact. And now we're just going to cap points because it's probably either a light or a medium that's left. And there we go. So we capped all of the points. Now, time is either going to run out on these guys. Okay, Jade, and it looks like it's probably, yep, it's a Shadow Cat. And he's a fresh Shadow Cat nonetheless, but the rest of our team is over there. He is under ECM coverage, so I highly doubt that we're going to be able to get over there in time with everyone else firing in on him. But with the ECM coverage, he is avoiding any long-range missile support. So we're going to make our way in that direction. But you never know. You never really know. Everyone will probably either kill him before then, or it looks like we're going to run out because our resources, we capped out. 750. Good game, guys. excellent work. And that's going to do it for this episode of MechWarrior Online. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for this epic round of gameplay, or epic rounds, I should say. Let's see how we did before we close out this video. 3 kills, 6 assists, 1,068 damage, topping the leaderboards. That was absolutely epic, guys. And especially against these kinds of opponents that I know from the competitive scene. Definitely an awesome round of gameplay. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it just as much. Leave a comment in the section below if you enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much again for tuning into this episode of MechWarrior Online Epic Builds, Epic Round Series. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. Take care, guys.